Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. For today's preview, Bulls versus Benetton. It is a bit of a grudge match, in fact, as the Bulls look to try and exact revenge after going down at the hands of Benetton last year in the Rainbow Cup final over in Treviso in Italy. However, this time it is Benetton on the Bulls' front step. But it's at Loftus, and it's supposed to be quite a big day planned. There's a whole 25 rand tickets are remaining there. There's a bit of an after party going on with the Bulls. I think there's a game before as well. For I think it's the Women's Currie Cup first division that gets underway this weekend. So there's quite a lot of rugby that's happening at Loftus. So if you are in and around the area, go and check it out because I think we're in for quite a cool match. With Bulls very much wanting to set the record straight against the Benetton side, which maybe hasn't quite have the firepower that it did have a year ago. Before we look at the two teams, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Looking at the two teams, this is how the Bulls will line up. A couple of changes, and the big one sees Cornel Hendricks back at inside centre, which we haven't really seen since the arrival of Harold Forster. Cornel Hendricks very much been operating in and around the wings, occasionally coming to the centres, but I was really enjoyed him last year at inside centre, and I think that he is going to cause a lot of issues there tomorrow. But if we look at the side, Gerard Steenkamp, Johan Grobbelaar, Morne Smith, Wild Steenkamp, Bruno Kier, Marcel Coetzee, Carl Brink, Albrecht Lowe. It is a very settled pack. That pack is not changing much on a week in, week out basis. And I think that, Jake White's found his combinations regarding a front row, a good lock combination, while Steenkamp and Bruno Kier are relentless in the games they play together. And then Carl Brink, for me, is slotted in quite effectively next to Marcel Coetzee and Albert Lowe. And I think that, Arno Botha is potentially on the way out. It sort of makes sense for him because I think that he just hasn't quite been able to sort of really nail down a starting spot for the Bulls. Ambrose Pierre is back and he partners Chris Smith in the halfback pairing. And I really enjoyed the rugby that Ambrose Pierre has been playing. I think that he has got to be back on the Springbok radar. I think he is close to playing some of his best rugby. And when he does play his best rugby, I think he's a fantastic scrum half to watch. Chris Smith as well, is not quite setting the world on fire, but starting to find a bit more consistency in his game. Somebody who is setting the world on fire is Madosh Tamwe, who continues to be that ever-present try-scoring threat. Him and Caden Moody will be looking to try and punish Benetton, as will Kurtley Orense from the back, somebody who's red-hot form at the moment. When he gets given a lot of space to run, he can be absolutely devastating. And I think that he'll be looking to try and work on the counter quite a lot this weekend. Cornel Hendricks as partnered by Lionel Pooh in the midfield, and Jake White very much wanting to stick with the new Bulls DNA, of trying to, keep the ball going, try to play quite a high tempo, try and bring the altitude in as a factor, and try and wear down the men from Italy. Off the bench, Jan Hendrik Wessels is the reserve hooker. Sampiero Mantazima. Dylan Smith will make his Bulls debut. The former Lions prop has signed for the Bulls, as long as, half the Lions contingency from the last 5 years. Very frustrating when the Lions are sitting there looking for players like a Dylan Smith for him to then come back and join the Bulls. But that's a whole different story. Janko Swanepoel, Arno Botha are the other forward replacements. And then you've got Zach Berger, Morne Steyn, and Stedman Gans. And I'd like to see more Stedman Gans. I think that he's someone who burst onto the scene and has kind of sort of faded out a little bit. Hasn't quite been able to sort of get his form back since sort of coming back from the 7th circuit. But he was playing some terrific rugby, and he just needs to I think he needs a bit of a run of games to sort of build back to that form that he did have about a year ago. In terms of Benetton, a couple of South African players in and around the side, so you will recognize a few of them. And the front row is Ivan Nima, Cornel Els, and Simone Ferrari. Then Erno Hurst is joined by Carl Wechner in the second row, the former Cheetahs captain, Giovanni Pettinelli, Manuel Giuliani, and Lorenzo Canon are the starting loose trio, and something like Michel Lamara off the bench is going to be quite good to see him as well. And then a familiar face to a lot of the Bulls players is the Deval Duvenacher, who will captain the side. He's got Thomas Albanose as his fly half outside him. Then Monty Aoni, who I really enjoy watching, and Mattia Bellini are the two speedsters. Tommaso Menoncello is next to Ignacio Brex. And then Ramo Smith, the former Cheetahs and Stormers fullback, is in the number 15 jersey. And I enjoy Ramo Smith. I think he's a very clever player. And I think that him and Kurtley Orense will be two players worth watching tomorrow because I think that they thrive with space, they thrive with attacking opportunity. And then off the bench from Italy, it's Giacomo Nicotera, Federico Zani, Tiziano Pasquale, Niccolo Canon, Michel Lamara, Alessandro Garbizzi, the younger brother of Paolo Garbizzi, obviously the Italian incumbent fly half, then Filippo Drago and Eduardo Padovani. So it's a decent Benetton side. And the one thing that you could say about Benetton so far this season is that they're a side that don't go away. They are sitting down in 13th position. They haven't won a game in a long time. But if you look at their results, for example, they're not they're not a side that always that necessarily get thrashed a lot. They have actually had some big scores, but they're a side that sort of stick around. If you look at some of their results, they edged Chalmers by 4 points. They then beat Edinburgh by 1 point. Um, Struggled against Irish sides, but like you're looking at like the Ospreys result where they lost by 3 points. Scarlets they lost by 6 points. Glasgow Warriors they won by 1 point. Edinburgh was lost by 14 points. The scores haven't gotten a little bit bigger, more recently, but even if you take away the Leinster result and the Munster results where they did get quite well beaten, they're a side that don't go away. They do tend to try and play a full 80 minutes, and so you need to put them to bed quite early and really put them to bed if you want to have an easy run in the last stages of the game. Let me know what your score predictions are down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.